Hello everyone, welcome again to another LazyArquitecto live stream where we teach you AutoCAD in a way that it's more productive so you can stop wasting your time. As always, we show up here each Friday at 10 a.m. Today we are showing up a little earlier because I had to do some personal stuff, but if your time is important, if you use AutoCAD professionally, this is your channel. So we're gonna start today's presentation in a moment. Let me see that everything is working as expected. Yep. Okay, great. Alright, so no technical problems today, so let me start preparing for today's presentation. So let me see over here. Okay. Hope you are doing great today. So let me see. Okay, let me start preparing. So let me see. How do we do this? Okay. Create a new folder. I'm just making a couple of folders here so we can okay, so we can emulate some projects here. Let's see. Okay, close this, save. Close this. Okay, let me open this up. Okay. All right, so let me start. think we are ready to start today's presentation, which is gonna be great as always. Okay, let's start and present today's task. Most small offices use an AutoCAD template, but without time to update it, hidden mistakes keep showing up in every project. So, change your system to avoid expensive errors and actually save time. So that's what we're gonna show you in today's lesson. So let's start right away. When I mean a system or an alternative to templates, which again the problem is there's no time to keep up updating them. So hidden mistakes are gonna carry on to your next project. So the system or alternative I like to use, and I personally use myself, is the idea of reusing a recent similar project. For example, over here I have a lazy restaurants, which we do often in multiple states, let's say New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and so on. So the idea is that we can reuse a recent drawing. For instance, this interior elevation in New Jersey for this lazy restaurant project. And so this is again a recent project I did, and now that I need to do a project similar renovation for another lazy restaurant, I can simply use my system of reusing a recent drawing, and let's say I want to do a project in PA now. So what I can do is simply copy these items with Control-C, go to my new project in Pennsylvania, paste it with Control-V, and of course start changing. So maybe this is not store or restaurant 1, but it's restaurant 2. Again, let's change the names to restaurant 2, and of course this is not in New Jersey anymore, this is in PA. So all I had to do is update certain items. For instance, on my title block, of course, update the owner information, so on, maybe the state also, PA. And once I'm done with the changes, I can save my title block, save the changes. So, but the idea is that we can simply, again, open our new drawing, in this case an interior elevation, but the case, once you set up your system, this would be better than a template, because you'll be keeping updating your projects. Let's say you find a mistake or something here, you will fix it, and that means for your next project the mistake won't be carried on. So over here, let me show you a couple of things that I like to do, of course. So of course you can see the title block is not the same. So what we can do is simply replace that really quick with from our XREF palette, and simply find and replace that title block. For instance, I'll go to the project, in this case was I believe, let me see, oh, there's restaurants. Lazy restaurants. So again, go to the new project and simply replace the title block. Of course, I can copy the name also. Simply click open, and you can see immediately my xref for my title block was replaced on the same location. And of course, would be also a good practice to paste the new name, in this case 002 for the restaurant store. So, but once you have that, you of course have to update your elevation now. So what I like to do is put a big X here and simply move it up, so that way I can draw my new exterior elevations, copying and reusing some of these items. But also what you can do is sometimes, or most of the times, there will be different options for your project. Your project is not going to be the same for all of your restaurants, right? Some restaurants might have a restroom, some don't. So very easy. What you can do is set up a block like this one and add the options that you need. In this case, if your restaurant, let's say, have a restroom and it needs to be renovated, you can pick the renovate option. But also maybe your client wants to maintain the restroom as is. Not a problem. You can pick the restroom remain option, and that way you only show the elevations that you need. In this case, we're calling out to just clean the existing wall tiles of the restroom. Also, of course, there might be some restaurants that don't have a restroom, or maybe not for the public, but maybe only for the employees. So then we can pick the restroom not applicable, and we'll have an option that says no restrooms. So that way you don't delete at all your details for your next project. Because remember, the idea or the system is that you will be improving upon each recent project that you do. So you'll reach a point where your project will run so smoothly with these options, and I can tell you my experience. So again, that's kind of the option that I use. Also, another thing very important is sometimes from a recent project we might have some revisions, let's say, and you don't want to miss or leave those revisions on your next project. So what you can do is, or what I personally do is, I create a layer. You can create a layer, no plot, or that's all up to you. But the idea is that you can highlight, let's say you add your revisions over here, you can highlight this and of course place it on the no plot layer that you just created. Maybe make it red, make it green, that's all up to you. But the idea is that, again, once you start from your recent project, you're gonna see this highlight immediately, and if there are revisions here, you can simply erase it, of course, because they don't apply for that specific project. So again, now that you understand how this system is used, again, it's an alternative to template. Let me show you how I actually did these different options, so you can also implement it in your project. All right, but so yeah, so let me before we explain that, let me see if there are any questions so far, because we are live. So let's see. Okay, so Alright, so let me now show you the different options. Again, for this system to work, we don't ever want to delete anything. What most folks do is, and they use this system, is let's apply, or let me show you first what some folks do with their details and that don't actually work. Is, let's say this chair rail detail over here. Let's say we do have, but let's say this restaurant don't have this chair rail. So what I'll do is, if they don't want to erase it, they will put it in a layer, maybe depth point. But you can see that messed up the whole thing, because now for your next project, if you want to reuse this, you have to change layers individually because they are not the same. You know, nodes layer, and this will be walls and so on. So that's not a good practice. So let me undo that. So another way folks also try to another way folks do to not erase their details also is, maybe they will make it into a block and name it maybe chair rail detail. Click OK and specify a base point. So, and once they have it as a block, they will change it if they don't need it and place it in a layer, maybe depth points that won't print, right? So the problem with this is, and of course this won't show up here because it's on depth point layer. That's good for this project, but then for the next project, you won't know if this is actually in your drawing. It looks like this is in my drawing, right? Because again, nothing visually is telling me that it's hidden. But again, it's on depth point layer, so it would bring or cause problems. So that's why, let me undo that. Or let me explode it. So that's why the option that I presented is the best and that has worked for me for this specific system or alternative of a template. Again, I personally tried using a template, but again, we don't have time in a professional office environment to keep updating. Each time I found a mistake on my current project, I'll need to go back to my template and also fix it there. That's 2 times fixing the same problem in my drawing. So once I implemented this system, the reuse recent similar project, everything actually changed. Everything is so smooth, so easy. If I catch a mistake, I quickly fix it on my current drawing project, and I'm 100% sure for my next project I won't repeat the same mistake because I already fixed it once. So let me show you then how I implemented these different options. So let's try that for this chair rail actually. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I am gonna make this into a block using the B option, and I'm gonna say maybe chair rail detail or chair rail options. That's all up to you. I'm gonna click OK, and I'm gonna specify a base point. So over here, what we need is the block authoring palette. If you don't see it, it's right here on your ribbon. You can simply click on it. And we're gonna need from the parameters tab this visibility option. You can place it on location that it's more convenient for you, but I'm gonna click and place it right there. Now we have a visibility state options right here on your ribbon. So if you click on that, you can add all of the different options. First, I'm gonna rename this. I'm gonna say chair rail. Let's say maybe yes, or I don't know, chair rail detail. I'm gonna create a new one. Chair rail, no, not applicable. That's all up to you how you name things, but I figure using simple words and short words is the best option. So I'm gonna click OK. So as you can see, when I change the different options, nothing happens yet. It's because we need to first be on the correct option. In this case, I want to change to NA, and here nothing's supposed to show up. So I'm gonna do and select all of these different details, and I'm gonna right click and say hide for current state. As you can see now, when I change to different options like detail, my detail is showing, and when I change to NA, nothing is showing. However, I like to add a text here, otherwise you won't be able to visually see what's going on. So what I like to do is, again, copy a piece of text, Control C, change to NA, and paste it with Control V, and change it maybe chair rail, not applicable. Again, that's all up to you. Make it bigger, maybe 3 times bigger. And of course, change that layer to a layer that doesn't print, in this case, def point. So once you do that and you save the changes, again, the next time you start with your system of reusing a recent similar project, and you notice you don't need a chair rail detail on this project, it's not a problem. You can just simply click your different options and you'll be ready to go. This system works so well because it's so easy to use. Everything seems like it runs smoothly, and again, you'll be keeping updating or keeping you'll keep finding things that you need to improve or simplify, and it will be it will show also on your next project. Right? So let me know what do you think about this template alternative that I use over and over in the architecture office where I work. Again, it's very, very nice to not be able to do the job 2 times by keeping or updating my template each time I need to add something. Okay, so again, let me know on the chat what do you think, and of course let me know if you're gonna be implementing this technique that I just went over. Use this method in your next job and stop wasting time on broken templates. So let me see if we have some time for Q&A. Let's see. Oops. Alright, if there are no questions, we're gonna start thinking on our next project. Okay, so yeah, let's see over here. So before I let you go, I wanna mention something. If AutoCAD ever feels stressful, or your boss keeps asking why things take so long, you might not be using the fastest methods. There is a better way to work. So join our community, the LazyArquitectos. It's a membership where I share everything I create: macros, dynamic blocks, template drawings, and so on, without limits. So if you saw it on YouTube, you will get full access inside. So check it out at lazyarquitecto.com/members. Alright, so I'm gonna see you here next Friday at 10 a.m. Bye bye.